Hi, this is DigitalFemme and welcome to my channel. So in this video, I want to talk about living a minimalist life and minimalism. And if you want to know what that's all about and how I am living my minimalist life, then continue watching. Hi, I'm glad you stayed. So the definition of minimalism is living with less stuff. The reason why I ended up getting interested in minimalism and living a minimalist life was because I found that after many moves, like we're talking country moves and across oceans moves, I had not acquired more things, but I had to learn to let go of my other things. I let go of all the books that I dearly loved. I had a CD collection, piano, lots of bags, and shoes, and just things that I've collected over the years that were sentimental things. And you know what? After a number of years of moving and remembering things that I have had, it was quite emotional for me. So I think that I decided, you know what? Because I didn't want to deal with the emotion of not having my things around me that I really loved and they were really sentimental to me, I decided, well then, I'm just going to be a minimalist, because a minimalist, that solves everything. It means that I don't have a lot of things and I'm going to be okay with the little things that I do have. So such was my start of the minimalist journey. And so I ended up moving to a city in Canada, in the middle of Canada. And then I came across on Twitter the Minimalists. And the Minimalists, they had written a book and they also had a documentary out, I think a few years ago. And I will put the links to the book and the documentary in the description below. And so I was on Twitter and they were looking for, I guess, community coordinators or city coordinators to start up minimalist groups in a particular city. So I had reached out to them, Ryan Nicodemus and Joshua Fields Milburn. I had reached out to them saying, hey, I'm in the city and I'd love to start up a minimalist group. And so I did. So we ran it for about 3 years. And then I don't know, we had about a total of maybe 10, 12 people. Actually, no. Our first minimalist group, there was 12 people, and then more came, and then it started dwindling through the years or through the months, and then it started to pick up again. So basically, we would have a meeting every month, and we would talk about minimalism and what it means to us, and if we wanted to live this minimalist life, how are we going about it? So a lot of people came to the meeting saying how, they downsized. A lot of it was about downsizing. And also a lot of people talked about how they had parents that were downsizing, and the parents lived in these homes for 50 years, and then now they had to live in a smaller condo, or the parents passed away and the adult children had to be tasked to take care of all the things the parents accumulated. And the adult children that came to the meetings would just really share their stories about the process and the emotional burden and challenge of having to take care of their parents' belongings. And that made them think about, oh my gosh, what about me? What about the home that I'm living in? They didn't want to be like their parents. So then a lot of them went through different journeys in terms of minimalism. And with me, there's this, I forgot her name, but she wrote a book, and a very popular book. And basically her idea or her approach to minimalism is you hold something, you take an item that belongs to you, and you're supposed to hold it. Wait, I'm looking for an item. And you're supposed to hold it like this fountain pen. It's a Lame fountain pen, German made. So let's say I take this item and you're supposed to hold it and meditate on it, or I don't know, just hold it and look at it and feel, does it give you joy? And if it gives you joy, then you keep it. And then you go through that process with apparently all your belongings. And then she also has a book on how to organize things and stuff. Like, you know what? There's so many things out there. You could just Google it, YouTube it, and everything. But let me just continue. So I didn't do that. I just knew that, number one, I was a remote worker working from home. So I didn't really need to continue buying like office clothes. So I had the clothes that I had accumulated. I got rid of that. And you know what? I've been for a long time deciding I'm just going to wear everything black. Why? Because black is like number one, it's easy to wash. If I just had everything black, I can go from literally daytime wear to evening wear, and you could layer it and all that stuff. So, okay, I'm wearing gray now, but I usually wear black. And now I'm starting to branch out to colors like gray and white. Woo. So I started doing that, getting rid of things and and plus I like the idea of having space, right? I don't like clutter at all. I just like things having its own space. So prior to this studio, or prior to this space that I'm living in now, I was in another space in the same building, and it was a loft space. So it was new, renovated, and then it didn't have a lot of furniture, so that was really good. And I really like that. So you know what? I really just want to cut to the chase of this minimalist video. And what I want to say is the point of my life right now that I am at in terms of what minimalism means to me is not so much things, because honestly, after like in the past 2 or 3 years, I started accumulating things again. But these things are like the things that I just wanted, like this Blue Yeti microphone, the ring light, the sets of light boxes for this YouTube channel, more tripods, a laptop, a drone, and then another drone, and you know what I mean. And then this lame fountain pen, notebooks. Did I buy a few clothes? Yes, I did, to replace. I bought a few black pairs of pants and black tops to replace the other black pairs of pants and black tops that I had started to wear out. So I threw those away. And I bought a digital piano. I had one before 3 years ago. I sold it. Now I want one again. And I also need to say that I also buy a lot. I've bought a lot of plants, and by a lot I mean, I don't know, maybe 20, 25, 30, and then I just propagate them. So if I were to say I'm a minimalist, I still buy things that do give me joy, and I'm really okay with that. The important thing for me in terms of minimalism and living a minimalist life really is to identify things like thoughts and emotions that no longer serve me, and how I can let go of that and get rid of that. So that's pretty much what this video is about. I wanted to share that, yes, I've had a minimalist life, and my journey up to now is really claiming the kind of feelings that I want to feel every moment or every day. And unfortunately, that also involves cutting ties with a few people, cutting ties with people that somehow seem to be more negative than not. And I really didn't like feeling or being around them when they just constantly complained about everything. If it wasn't the news, it was traffic, and it got to a point where I just didn't want to hear that anymore. It was like they complained about more things, or they spoke about more things that had negative feelings, or negative energy attached to it that I perceive was negative energy, as opposed to of a more lighthearted, more grateful, appreciative type of, I guess, conversation. And so that's what I had to do. I ended up cutting out people in my life that just weren't very positive and happy. Now, I know that people are going to say, oh, come on, DigitalFemme, you can't be happy all the time. No, I understand that. I totally do. But I mean, Oh, come on. Like, it's almost like literally these people just loved just being or wallowing in their like victim mentality. You know what I mean? Well, that was my impression anyway, and my perception. So I ended up not getting rid of, but lessening contact with those people. In addition to really doing a lot of self work. And what I mean by self work is identifying what are the things that I keep regurgitating, or thoughts in my head, or stories that I keep telling myself or people that weren't really positive and didn't really serve me. So once I identified those types of thoughts and stories that I just would keep repeating to myself and others every time I started to say something along the lines of a certain topic, I would catch myself and I go, oh, I don't need to say that anymore. I don't need to tell the story of when I was like, 18 years old in this hat. Like, I don't need to anymore. Like, I just drop it and I just focus on what's happening now, and then just move on. And by moving on, meaning just stop talking about this old story and switching the topic, or just pausing and making sure that the next sentence that comes out of my mouth is just something more positive and more focused on like what's happening right at this moment. Hope some of you understand what I'm talking about, and I'm pretty sure most of you will, especially if you came to find this video based on the title. And I still have to figure out what the title is, but I'll figure it out. So this morning I attended a 7:30 KDR meeting. KDR meaning Key Deliverable Reports, and it was good. I enjoy meetings actually, and it was really good. And but now I'm really tired. Why? It's because I got up at 7:05 and I'm not a morning person, and now it's like 10 to 10. But I have been online like pretty much all day in different meetings, brainstorming, talking, going through visuals, strategizing, looking at copy, editing, and all that stuff. Oh, so why am I doing all this? Oh, what am I? Okay, I'm a digital strategist for a marketing agency in Toronto, and we're just getting super, super busy, which I'm really excited about all these projects. And we're also about to launch a podcast with 2 internal clients next Thursday, September 24th. But what is this? Today's Tuesday, but there's still a lot to be had and to be done. Anyway, I think that's all I'm really going to say about minimalism. Sorry about this whole roundabout thing, because that's how I talk, or that's how I roll. But yeah, so I'd love to know in the comments below if you were ever curious about minimalism or being a minimalist, or if you wanted to be a minimalist and didn't know how to start, because there's just so many there's so many different, well, there's not so many. There's a minimal amount of a mindset that you can take for minimalism, and I would love to actually go through and talk about minimalism as a series. And I should, because I did kind of like run a minimalist group in the city for a number of years, so you'd think I'd know something. But I'll stop now, and I'm really glad that you had visited this channel and watched this video, and I'd really love to hear your comments below on minimalism or minimalists and stuff like that. And I will put the link in the description to the minimalists, the actual minimalists, like they call themselves minimalists, Ryan and Joshua, and to their documentary. I think you can Google it. You can search for it in Netflix. It's called the Minimalist documentary. That's so silly. Anyway, wherever you are in this world, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Have a great evening, and I will see you tomorrow. Oh, and by the way, this is my 95th video in the 1-1-1000 day challenge. Ooh, my 95th video in the 1-1-1000 day challenge, and that is choosing to do one thing for 1 hour a day for 1000 days. And I've chosen to do a video in this YouTube channel. So this is my 95th video. Woohoo! And I got a long way to go still, but I'm going to get there, folks. Anyway, thank you. Bye-bye.